Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the Poke Pantry. Today we're going to be going over the newly released and soon to release in English Black Bolt and White Flare set. Now, I know there's probably 100 other people who have already done this and probably have done it better, but this is really the first set that I'm looking into like this, so just want to take a crack at it. So it looks like this set is set for Gen 5, black and white set. It's got Snivy, Tepig, Oshawott, those starters, and it's got Zekrom and Reshiram as the kind of main cards that you want for both sets. So I just looked through these and I picked out a couple cards that I thought might be cool to build a deck with. Like, I'm not gonna tell you which cards to use to build your decks. There's probably other people out there who are better at that, but I do have a couple cards here that when I read them I thought were pretty surprising. In no particular order, let's start here with Carablast with the ability Reactive Evolution. See if I can find him down here. The ability Reactive Evolution, if you have Shelmet in play. Now, there's no Shelmet in this set, but if you have a Shelmet at all, this Pokemon can evolve on your first turn, or on the turn it was played, which is pretty good. The evolution for this guy, I don't think it is right here, so he'll be able to evolve if you have a Shelmet anywhere on your bench. Or maybe it has to be in the active slot, but it doesn't matter. It can evolve on the very first turn to deal 90 damage for just one steel energy. To be honest, it's pretty good. On the downside, it'll deal 30 damage to itself, but I think that's still worth it if you put it like at the very beginning to just hit an easy 90 damage on your opponent's Pokemon. Alright, next up let's look at Volcarona. With the ability Scorching Scales, once during your turn, you may discard a basic fire energy card from your hand. If you do this, opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. This could be really good to just constantly keep burning the active Pokemon, especially if they keep flipping heads and actually getting rid of it. It's good to just keep annoying them if you have the basic fires to get rid of. And then 70 damage is also not bad. At a 3% energy cost though, is kind of expensive for only 70 damage when you have other cards that'll deal like 200 or 100 if you meet the special condition. It is a stage 2, however, so you're gonna have to take a turn before you can even evolve it and use the annoying burn skill, but I think it's still pretty good overall. Next we have, let's go over the energy coin here. The energy coin, you can flip 2 coins. If both of them are heads, you search your deck for a basic energy card and attach it to one of your Pokemon. Now, this is kind of bad. I don't really like flipping coins at all. Kind of had a bad experience playing the Pokemon Pocket. Those coins are abysmal. But for this especially, you have to flip both heads to just get one basic energy. So it's kind of a risk versus reward. The risk is a little higher than the reward here, but still, it'd be pretty good if you're missing that energy card that you need to attack. Especially down here with Conkeldurr. This ability is, when I read it, it was actually pretty insane. This Pokemon gets plus 40 HP for each fighting energy attached to it, and with already 140 health. He needs 4 energy just to attack. So with 140 health, that's 40 extra health for each energy. So that adds on 160 health. So he starts off here with already 300 health. And so if you just keep adding energies and they keep doing it, like there's a possibility where he just does not die. Bad thing is, he's a stage 2. So in order to even get this ability, you have to take two turns or a third turn just to get him here, and if you don't pull the card, it's kind of not worth it. And then also he has a downside of the flip 2 coins to deal extra damage. But overall, pretty good card, nice art. Right underneath we have Haxorus, which has the attack Crosscut for 80 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, this attack deals 80 more damage. So for 160 damage, any evolution, any stage 1, any stage 2, deals 160 damage. But the real kicker is down here for Axe Blaster. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a basic Pokemon, regardless of how much health it has, it's knocked out, which is actually pretty good for maybe you can use a card to pull a basic Pokemon from their bench and just immediately KO it for that easy win, or for a prize card. It's pretty good. Also, really nice art here. I like the simplistic cell shading that this artist has going on here. It's really nice. Okay, now Unpheasant. Right underneath we have Fetch, draw 4 cards. Simple, easy. Just get 4 free cards off of that move. Swift Flight for 120 damage. Again, flip a coin, so it's not really ideal, but still for 120 damage, it's probably good to take that risk. If heads, you prevent all damage and effects done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon's attacks during their next turn. So pretty good art here. I like, again, the pretty simplistic shading here, made by the same person. So no, it's not, but yeah, pretty good art nonetheless. Tool Scraper's next. Choose up to 2 Pokemon tools attached to Pokemon, yours or the opponent's, and discard them. So that's good if your opponent's trying to build up tools, do some pretty good damage, you can just completely take that away from them, which is pretty good. Whimsicott EX, it's another one. Energy Gift. Shuffle your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards and attach them, I'm guessing that's a error, to your Pokemon in any way you like, then shuffle your deck. So that's good to build up some easy energy on maybe a bench Pokemon, or this one. With the Wonder Cotton, your opponent reveals their hand, and this attack does 50 damage for each trainer card. So there's a chance where they have no trainer cards and you'll deal 50 damage, or maybe they have 1 or 2 and you'll deal upwards to 150. This really depends on your opponent's pulls and all that. So End's Plot is a pretty good card. I think he able to move any energy from your bench to your active Pokemon. I remember there was a card like this in Pokemon Pocket that could take, I think, all your energies if they were electric from your bench and put it onto the active Pokemon. So this one's pretty good. It kind of does the same thing, but for any energies. I like N. I like the pose here. Melota EX is next with the ability Live Premiere. This Pokemon can attack even on their first turn, so that's pretty good. So as long as you get that first energy there, be able to attack for 30 damage on your first turn, and then during your next turn, this Pokemon's Echo Voice does 80 more damage. So you can attack on your first turn, and then on your second turn you're already doing 80 damage, which is pretty nice. Bufflin EX with the ability Buffer. This Pokemon takes 30% less damage, so basic Pokemon already taking 30% less damage from basically nothing. And then with Gold Breaker, you have, if your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, you're dealing 200 damage to it, which is pretty nice. I really like this card. Now, right under that, we have Cofagrigus with the long range Demagrigus. Move all damage counters from one of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Pretty interesting. If you have a Pokemon that's injured, maybe 100 damage, and you pull him back onto your bench, put this guy up, you can immediately throw all this damage onto one of your opponent's Pokemon and they can't really do anything about it. With Bewilder for 60 damage, right underneath, your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. So you have the benefit of maybe throwing a bunch of damage onto them and then hitting them for an extra 60 with a confusion, which could be pretty bad if they miss their coin flips. Right under that, we have Crocodile. Tighten Up for 60 damage. Your opponent has to discard 2 cards from their hand. pretty nice. Undernet Cursed Slug for 120 damage. If your opponent has 3 or fewer cards in their hand, this attack does 120 damage. So that'd be, situational. You can actively see your opponent's cards, so you'll know when to use this. But 120 damage is nothing to shy away from, and then the added benefit of 240 for just having 3 or less cards. It is a stage 2, however, so you would have to spend 3 turns. But if you look at this, each of these cards, your opponent discards 1 card, your opponent discards 2 cards, and you're also dealing damage 10, 50, right? So you're pretty good off here. Like this entire line of the crocodiles are building up for this. It's removing cards from your enemy's hand, and then to be able to do that extra 120 damage. So I really like this like set of cards. The art looks great for all 3 of them, especially this little guy. Now moving on, we have Coracosta, with the ability Mighty Shell, prevents all damage and effects done to this Pokemon by attacks from other opponent's Pokemon that have any special energy. So again, situational. In this deck, there's only, I think, 2 special energy cards, so not really useful in any way unless they have that special energy. They can't do any damage to you whatsoever, so it's a pretty good tank card, I guess, with also doing 150 damage down here with Bite Down. Defending Pokemon can't retreat now, which is pretty good. It's kind of guarantees a two hits, and if you pull a card that has a special energy attached, then you do 150. Now they can't run away, they can't do damage, which is pretty good, I guess. So a good card. It's a stage 2, so you have to level it up from a couple turns, so. But I think if you get it off, it'd be worth it for sure. Under that, we have Archeops with the ability Primal Wings. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may choose one of your opponent's evolved Pokemon and devolve it. That could be devastating if your opponent evolves and gets that extra 60-70 health from the second stage or first stage. If you devolve it and then you deal this 100 damage, that is horrible. You would take out so many cards like this. Just prize card farming card right here. The art looks amazing. It is a stage 2, but I think it's worth it. If you get this here, you can just keep devolving every card you want, and if you get this active, I don't think they'd be able to do anything about it. Now, looking down here, we have this guy, Rioniclus. Sure, first try. With Ascension, for each of your bench Pokemon, search your deck for a card that evolves from that Pokemon. Now this is really, really nice, because basically for 1 turn, you can evolve every single one of your cards for basically free. You can evolve all 5 of your bench Pokemon without even just for 1 energy, so it's relatively cheap, and now you have an entire army on your bench, which is pretty good. Then down here, Arrow Lariat, 40 damage. This attack does 40 more damage for each of your evolved Pokemon in place. So again, you do this, evolve all 5 of your bench Pokemon, and you're doing 40 damage for each of those bench Pokemon, which is kind of a lot of damage. That's 200 damage? Yeah. If you have 240 if you have all of the, there's a lot of damage. This guy's pretty good. Again, stage 2, so it's gonna take a while to get there, but I think it's worth it just to be able to evolve all your Pokemon there. Next we have Kyurem EX. Now these 3 cards are kind of have the same move set, but there's one of these that is much better than the others, and let's go through them right now. Kyurem EX has a slash for 50 with the attack underneath for Blizzard Burst, 130 damage, and deals 10 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon for each prize card. Now, 130 damage is good, but for this to really do damage to the bench, they have to have 1 or 2 prize cards taken to just deal that chip damage to the bench. If they're on their 6th prize card, you're dealing 50 damage to each card in the back, which is pretty good. Underneath we have Zekrom EX, same slash attack and same damage with the voltage burst, but this attack does 50 more damage for each prize card, so it's a lot better than Kyurem. And Kyurem is doing it to the bench, this is doing it to the active Pokemon, but so it could probably one-shot a lot of cards there, but again, it's relying on how many prize cards they've taken, and it has this, which you deal 30 damage to yourself, which is never good on any card unless they're doing more damage for having damage taken. But I think the best out of these 3 cards is Reshiram EX. It has the same 50 slash, and then Blaze Burst deals 130 damage. This deck does 50 more damage for each prize card, and all you have to do is get rid of one of the energies. If you have cards that give you more energies, this is fine, but it does nothing to your health, and it still has the added benefit of the ability to one-shot all of those active Pokemon for the prize cards that you've taken. So I think Reshiram EX is the best of these 2 sets. If you're looking for either the Black Bolt or the White Flame or White Flare, I think Reshiram is the better pick if you're trying to build a deck around him. But Zekrom EX is perfectly fine too. I actually like Zekrom EX more, and if we look at I was gonna go over this afterwards, but if we look down here at the Black Bolt kind of alternate arts and illustration rares, this Zekrom card is probably the toughest card I have ever seen. The complete black border, everything looks amazing. So compared to the white Reshiram card, this one kind of looks a lot worse. I like the Zekrom one infinitely more than the Reshiram card. Just so much cooler. But still, moving on, we have a couple more cards to get through here. We have Hilda. You search your deck for 1 evolution Pokemon and an energy card, reveal them and put them into your hands. It's pretty good if you want to evolve your Pokemon. Maybe it has an extra energy cost, so you put 2 energies onto your Pokemon, so that's pretty good. Nice art here too. Now we get on to this was not a special energy, so there's only 1 in these 2 sets. Okay, so Prism Energy. This card provides a colorless energy if your Pokemon this card is attached to is a basic Pokemon. This card provides every energy type, but provides only 1 energy at a time. So, pretty good, but it has to be a basic Pokemon, so do with that what you will. Air Balloon. The retreat cost of the Pokemon this card is attached to is now 2 colorless less. So basically 0. Most of the cards here have 2 cost, have 2 cost. This one's 4. But you might not want to retreat this guy, I don't know, but for most of these cards here is 1 or 2, so you basically get them out for free. If you have multiple, it's pretty good. You can put 2 on 1 card, pretty good. And then the last card we have here, or not the last, but down here we have Ignition Energy. If this card is attached to one of your Pokemon, you discard it at the end of your turn. This card provides 1 colorless energy while it is attached to a Pokemon. If this card is attached to an evolution Pokemon, it provides 3. So pretty good, but you do have to get rid of it afterwards. But still, a free 3 energy for an evolved Pokemon is pretty good. Now going back up to the top, we missed a couple here. Hydrogen EX has the ability Gree Eater. If your opponent's basic Pokemon is knocked out by damage from this Pokemon's attack, take 1 more prize card. It's pretty good. And it's dealing 200 damage, so in just 2 moves you could probably knock out every single card, and they get the benefit of being worth 2 prize cards. So that's pretty good. Under that we have Crystal with the ability Sturdy. If this Pokemon has full HP and would be knocked out, then it is knocked out and has its HP down to 10. It's pretty good. It's just basically you could stall a turn with this, which is pretty good. But you know, you have to be at full HP. Regardless, it'll take 2 turns to kill this guy, which is pretty good. So you can build up your other cards while they're dealing with him. Stone Edge, for 80 damage, flip a coin if heads, stacked at 60 more. I don't like the coin flipping, but plus 60 damage, not bad. 80 damage alone also isn't bad. And then under that, we have Fennel, which I think is the best healing card in any set. There might be better ones, but this is the only one that I've looked at. I think this is pretty good. It heals 40 damage for each of your Pokemon. So every single Pokemon, every single card that you have on your bench, your active slot, you can heal them all at the same time. Additive, it's healing up to 240 health, so that's basically an entire card back to full health. That's pretty good. So I would definitely have a Fennel in my deck. Masharna down here has the Dream Call attack. Search your deck for any number of Fennel cards, reveal them, and put them into your hands. Pretty good for have them both in the same deck, and just have an entire army of Fennel's healing, because you can find any number of them. So maybe you have 3 or 4 in your deck. Use this Masharna's ability once. Now you have them all in your hands. Pretty good. Sleep Pulse for 50. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. Always good. Clown. It is another coin flip card, but if you flip heads, you draw 5 cards, your opponent draws 3, and if you flip tails, you draw 3 and your opponent draws 5. So it does have the chance of helping your opponent more than you, but still a pretty funny card. Nice looking art down here. And I think, yep, that's all the cards I had here. All the cards that I thought looked cool. Again, if you were gonna pick either the black or white set, I myself would go with the black Bolt set. I think it has more interesting cards, probably has a better variety of useful cards if you want to build decks around them. And then you also have the added bonus of finding these cards, which I think every single one of these cards looks absolutely amazing. I'm gonna go through here a little bit. Every single one of these cards look amazing. And then you have the added benefit of having a chance of getting that Zekrom there at the end with just full black card. I think it looks that one of the best looking cards that I've seen in a while. This one's worth a lot, I know that. Yep, all these cards just this one's pretty cute. Really, really cool art here. A lot of really good artists. All of these cards look amazing. Up here on the construction site, yeah, this was one of my favorite Pokemon when I was younger. This guy here, that's cool. All right, and then we have the main 4 down here, I guess. I did a loop. I didn't see the last ones. Where did it stop here? Stop. Okay, yeah. Then we got here the crabs. This guy. We got the crocodiles. The birdies. Yeah, honestly, all these cards look so good. This guy especially. Also another one of my favorite Pokemon. That's funny. You just made a yarn. Alright, then we got this one nice Zekrom card. And Fennel. Kyurem. Probably the toughest Zekrom card we got here. Only beat out by this one, I think. Genesect looks pretty nice. And this one right here, probably the best card that I've seen in a while. But still, I mean, Reshiram set is a pretty good set to look at. There's a lot of good cards here. We got Hilda here, which is pretty nice. The Hydrogen EX card looks nice in the rain. This Reshiram card also looks nice. These colors are amazing. If you're just getting this set to collect, obviously get whichever one you want, but if you're trying to build a deck for maybe tournaments or maybe just playing the game, Zekrom deck Black Bolt I think has the better cards. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching the video. Leave a like, comment down below maybe which card you like the most, and I'll see all you guys in the next video. Later.